Hey guys, I have an M248 here. More Josh-CCLP4. I think this is part 23. I'm just going to start playing Alaska. This is the part of the set that I was really looking forward to playing. Because this is the Josh L5 stuff. And the Josh L5 stuff is where Josh started getting really good at his designs. So it's going to be... I've been really looking forward to being able to play these levels. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, Alaska was designed to be level 1 of Josh L5, which is why it's first in the Josh L5 section here. There is a... I think it's a little complicated for level 1, but my thoughts on level 1s are a little different than Josh's, so I'll respect that this is what he wanted to put. So, you've got an ice section, you've got this little dirt section with fire and you can extract blocks with. And you spend the blocks down here to pick up chips. And I think some of them have keys under them, which is how you get into the blue wall section. So yeah, I have played the beginning of Josh L5, but not too much of it. So the first few levels I'm going to know the solutions to, or decently, or yeah, I'm going to have some idea of what the solution is. But for the most part, this is going to be what are the solutions, which I think works pretty well. Means I can get moving, make a lot of progress here. And let's push all the blocks just in case. So 20 chips remaining. We've got all 3 keys. We're done with the water section. Let's start with the blue wall maze. So I'm going to assume chips are in dead ends. And if this comes back to bite me later, then it comes back to bite me later. It does a little bit, I think. Not too much, though. Yeah, as expected, that one was a wall. So yeah, again, it's a pretty space-filling maze. And that's Alaska complete. Moving on to Wildlands.
Bummer.
Which you can do some shortcuts with the teeth here. I'm not going to bother with that. It just seems like it would be a little annoying, even if you did know what it was going to be, because you don't have room for any boosting mistakes then. So I'm just going to run around through the force floors, try to pick up all the chips in a relatively systematic manner, and just... this is a pretty simple level. I think this one would have been better suited for level 1. I'm considering doing a trick. No, I'll just take the easy path. I was considering doing a more difficult boosting method, but didn't want to risk it. Okay, so this chip down here is a perfect example of one that you would do differently with an optimized route. Anyway, that's all the chips, and how do I get back up? This way? Yeah, right here. And that's Wildlands. Moving on to Nimbostratus, which is another maze. So just like that one part of Alaska, it's an ice maze. This one, though, is entirely ice, and honestly, it's a pretty cool level. So you'll note the green key there. That's going to be important for later. Um, okay, so from the entry point. So I'm going to try, again, I'm going to try to be fairly thorough about how I do this just because I know ice mazes are probably the most annoying type of maze to find that one last thing you're missing. But I fully expect to still need to go track down one missing chip. Okay. And this will give me another one. Come over here. Okay, so that's where I'll go once I get the blue key. So we'll try and focus on getting the blue key. Oh, the blue key is from here. Whoops, I pushed the wrong button. So yeah, this is a fun little ice maze. It's very reasonably scaled. And some of these paths are pretty lengthy, which is not something you usually see, a mix of the longer and shorter paths. Now it was left and then right, and then left. And this should be it for the chips in the level once I'm done with this area. So go here, go down. No? Okay, up there, and then... Okay, so now I just need to find my way back to the socket near the beginning, which shouldn't be too hard to do. So if you were keeping a close eye out, you should know where the green key is. If not, just look around. All blue walls are fake. So I was keeping a close eye out, and I knew it was back this way. And that would be Nimbostratus complete. Moving on to the glider identity. So this is an interesting level for one reason and one reason alone to me. So one thing worth noting about so Eddie's design style. So as I mentioned before, he's the one who did the dedication levels. Is the biggest thing that's worth noting about his design style is that a lot of his level concepts involve him taking an existing level that someone else made and doing something different with it. So his level, Blue Ridge Corporate Center, is structurally very similar to the glider identity, except completely rotationally symmetric. And so the reason that matters to me is really, really simple. And I'm screwed, because that was really careless. So the reason that matters to me is, well, Blue Ridge Corporate Center was a really interesting optimization exercise. Just because it has 2 glider cloners, and you can do some pretty ridiculous stuff with these glider cloners. Okay, let's do this room right this time. Looks like it has to go there, no exceptions. Yeah, the glider shenanigans you can pull are pretty cool. And it resulted in gaining 1 second over JB, except not really because it was 1 second equivalent, like behind JB, and then I started asking about what his route did, and he didn't do any collision shenanigans. My route did. So we compared stuff, we pushed it further, and ended up finding plus 1 second on what he had. Which was pretty cool. It's a really cool route, and I think James would have a lot of fun finding it. Why do I single out James? James is the glider master, that's why. fireballs are my area of expertise, as Grand Prix and Mediterranean will show, but gliders are his, and there's a lot more examples of that. So this room is a little trickier than the other one. Not by much, though. So I do not remember where the socket was, but that is all the chips. Yeah, all blocks must be used to get these chips, which I kind of knew. Oh wait, the socket's here. Okay, now I have fire boots. Where did I see fire? Okay, I remember where I saw fire. I saw fire on the bottom over here. Straight to the exit. So that's the glider identity. Moving on to Condensed Fire Maze. Use one boot at a time and use pop-up walls only when necessary. So this is how it works. You trade one fire boot for one chip, using recessed walls on the way back. It's an interesting level, I guess. It's not really, like, I don't really like it too much because it is a little just straightforward, but that's what it's going for. It serves the purpose. So I can see why people would like it. It's just not my kind of level, and I'm willing to acknowledge that. I think I have the bold on this, which I don't think I went much farther than this level in Josh-CCLP4. Just never got around to doing so. So yeah, this is all it is. I don't know where the condensed comes into the title though. So yeah, I knew this video was going to have some pretty swift progress just because I knew the levels coming up were relatively short, relatively easy, relatively straightforward, and that dirt tile is really well placed. Just, so yeah, expect some pretty swift progress in the next bunch of videos, just because we are in an easier set of levels, and 160 will be the halfway point, and I'm not too far away from that. All right, I think I've just got back here to go. Yep, one more chip, and I'll have the socket so I can get the green key, presumably the red key. Take the recessed walls first, which is interesting. So it doesn't matter which way we go, whether we take the fire boots first or second. I'm going to take them second because that's just what I feel like doing. And I could explore the outside area, but I'm just going to take the exit. Condensed Fire Maze done. In the Walls of Gravel Castle is probably the longest of the early Josh-CCLP4 things. So most of these blue walls weren't real. So what do we have to do here? Well, this first room is, well, all about just finding a way to get out of the room. So it could come back there with suction boots later, potentially. You could maybe do something with side delay and a ram to get that chip early. I'm not sure how exactly you would do that. Especially when you could just do this instead. Okay, moving on into the next room. Oh, this room was tricky, I remember that. So you need 4 blocks down here, right? Well, what's that recessed wall for? What good does it actually do you? Well, you need a way to push a block into this row, so that's what good it does. So I'm going to assume these trap buttons are linked to their closer traps. This part of the level right here reminds me a lot of oh, what's the level name? The Ancient Temple from CCLP1. So I'll use this block first, just to get it out of the way. And okay. We'll take this one up next. Yeah, so I could use one of these blocks on the bomb with the blue lock path, but I need the blue key first, or it doesn't do me any good. And I get that by using up these blocks. So this teeth is a little tricky to deal with, but not really, because there is such a large area where you can misdirect him. So blue key, push this block up, and then we can retrieve it on the way out. Do the teleport, and I forget what the hint says. I think it just says, yeah, the blocks across the moat's fake blue walls correspond with each other. So, just a simple little block pushing section, nothing too complicated. And then that means we'll get another blue wall to be able to get the red key. So we'll wait for the fireball to come around. And I've got no choice but to come down here. And this room can be a little tricky. I think in JB's LP of Josh-CCLP4 he screwed it up. But it's really not that bad. Like, that's literally all you have to do. And you even get a convenient way out, so not hard at all. So I'm going to leave the toggles flipped because I think that's a good thing to do. And now, okay, so we need the trap button still being hit. I see bugs over there. I want a better look. So there's a yellow key, and once I take that chip, okay, so it looks like the bugs will let me go back out, which is a pretty cool construction. Alright, so now we just have to deal with this water room with the gliders. Gravel and water are surprisingly difficult to teleport sometimes. Like, it's very hard to read where monsters can and can't go with a section like that, but that's pretty nicely designed. Anyway, we get a long winding path, and In the Walls of Gravel Castle is solved. So, state of the art, I know there's a hint if you go up very high in the level. I'm not going to be reading that hint, just because I don't need to. Or, oh, I guess I will read it. Keep track of the amount of keys you collect. You'll need 3 of each color to reach the green key. So this is a really straightforward key collecting level. Every key gives you one key. Every lock you spend gives you one additional key. So I'm pretty sure there's no limit to how many you can collect either. So I'm just going to collect all of them rather than count to 3 of each. Because I'm pretty sure I'll have more than enough by doing so. Yep. So it's a pretty straightforward level. I wouldn't mind seeing that as level 1 in a set, honestly. It's straightforward, it's simple, and it's fun. It's a fun level to play. So, Union. Go inside each compartment to get the chips, then enter them again to item swap towards the blue button. So this level is interesting. You don't really have much choice in the start, and I hope I don't waste any walls I need. Yeah. So I've looked at this level in the editor. I think it's complicated. I might be overthinking it. In fact, I probably am overthinking it. I think I saw sockets up in the northwest. Yep, green key. I saw green locks down here. Okay, so section boots in the bottom left, flippers there. Toggle door is going to be up near the top. So what goes there? Okay, yellow key for flippers. So there's just a lot of running back and forth in this level. That's not a bad thing, but it's quite noticeable with these levels that the Josh's and my design styles do end up almost fundamentally opposed at points. It's because I would never make a level like this. There's been levels I've made that Josh said he would never make a level like that. I think the first one that comes to mind here is Flow State. But this is just elegant idea I wouldn't have come up with. So moving on to Our Doors Always Open, which is a really funny level to come up here because for Ultimate Chip 5, I actually made a level that used these walls. I don't think that level's that good either. But, you know, it is what it is. It's a level I made. I'm going to own up to it. Okay, so what do I do here? So I don't think I can do anything from in there. It can come up here, but I don't think it does me any good with the blocks. I've got 2 blocks, but I don't know what good that does me. Maybe I can go in here? I think I can, actually. No? No? Really?
Bummer.
Interesting. I'm a little lost at this point.
Bummer.
Forgot to remove the blue lock. I'll do it better this time. Okay, so I think... Oh, wait, no, I can take the suction boots. Duh. Or I could pass through those recessed walls. Duh. So with the suction boots, what can I do that I couldn't do before? I can get this yellow key. Which in turn gives me a little more access. Of course, I can now swap my suction boots for a green key, but I don't really want to do that, I think. Maybe I do. Think carefully about where you push your block first. What can I want to go into the, across there, but I don't know if I should. Okay, those recessed walls don't do me any good right now. They give me a way out, if I... Wait a moment. Wait just a moment. I have 2 blocks, right? So that with the green key, I can push one onto the trap, push the trap button, push the other one up there, and then I can use the recessed wall path to go up. So I do want to make the swap. And which direction will I want to push it first? That is a good question. That's not one I have an answer to. And I do still have this one block, too. I don't know if that'll come in handy later, but it can't hurt. Aha! So we can see that we have a teeth, and if we can get further left, we can use the teeth on the bomb. Likewise, though, if we get flippers, we could go over that way first. Do I get to see? I don't think I see any flippers in the level, though. So I'm not sure how I'm supposed to deduce this. Because there is a chip on both sides. I mean, it tells me to think carefully, but it doesn't tell me, and I don't think I can see enough information here. Okay, so if I go right, then I get fire boots, and I can leave and come back and do other stuff. So I'm going to guess this direction. So the teeth on the trap. Now, I'll still need to get something else up there. But with the fire boots in tow... What good does that do me? That's what good that does me. So that room's now flooded. And with my fire boots and the blue key, I can come back through here. Come on. And go this way. And then with the teeth on this other trap, I go up here. Invert the toggle state. And complete the level. I used up a lot of the time. That was fun. That was a fun level. So, Temporal Tower.
Bummer.
I think Josh said this level ended up being a little more difficult than he intended it to be. In his comments on Pie Guy's site. I can definitely see does not look like an easy one. Thank you, controller boss stuff, for being thought through. So with these two blocks, I'm assuming I need to use them over there. But the way I have to do that is actually pretty unique, as far as I can tell. Did I really just do that? I really just did that.
Bummer.
I'm not going to do that again. I know what I'm doing.
Bummer.
I'm just going to be quiet now. And pretend like I know what I'm doing.
Bummer.
I did say pretend like I know what I'm doing. This is about as far as I expected to get in this video, though, so I'm pretty happy with that. Yep, and then use the recessed wall. The arbitrary thin walls are really cool here. Okay, use 2 blocks to partial post downward and to get the toggle walls flipping to partial post right. Blech. What? Okay, so I've got those 2 blocks. So I could partial post down immediately. Or I could go into this glider room and try to go down there for the green key. I don't think I want to do that just yet. Get the toggle walls flipping to partial post right. What good does that do me? So I've only got the 1 block here, but unless there's not gravel under it. Whoops. So if I'm right, I can use the glider on that bomb. I can't use the glider on that bomb. In links, you could. And I've only got this 1 block here, and I could put one there, and then I would still have a block up here to bridge to the side. Except I wouldn't be able to get in after dropping the block in place. So I'm just going to assume I do want to do what the hint says and do the partial post now. What? What? Am I supposed to do it like this? I'm so confused right now. I am so confused. It's like there's no real other options for the first part of this level. But then once I get to that glider, like things start opening up, and I don't see what I need to do. I mean, the green key obviously is going to take 2 blocks. Oh wait, if I leave the chip there... then the bomb's gone. I'm still so confused with what I'm supposed to do right now. I mean, I'll do the partial post down. Okay, that's what's going on here. We have the partial post, we go up, and then we clear out this room, right? Wait, then what's the recessed wall? What are the recessed walls for? Or, yeah. I mean, so I could go get the fire boots as early as now. But I want the toggles flipping first. And how can I do that with... I want to take the chip, because I'm going to need this chip. So that has the toggle walls flipping every a lot of moves, but they are flipping. So right here, with this recessed wall, it concerns me. Because I know... Wait. Duh. Never mind. That was stupid of me. I was misremembering what I saw. I thought I needed to partial post from the recessed wall to get the keys, or to get the boots. So now I'm going to wait for this blob to get out of my way. Come on. All the way down. Okay. So I've still got the walls flipping, and this room is a little tricky, actually. So now we get a little chase sequence. And, oh boy, oh boy. So I'm going to need to do two things. I'm going to need to solve this Sakoban puzzle, which it's only 2 blocks, but there's the force floor, which makes things a little more complicated, but not really. And then that's all the chips. Careful with crossing that. And Temporal Tower complete. I'll move on to Empty Void in the next video, which I'm going to start recording right about now. So I'm literally going to hit stop recording, and then I'm going to hit start recording.